Hey, greetings, gang. Caeli Ridge here again from Ridge Lending Group. I'm happy that you could join us. If you're watching this, chances are good that you are a real estate investor, either residential or commercial. And chances are also good that at some point in your career and or even discovery of real estate investing, there have been some pain points related to the financing side of real estate investing. Obviously, most of you listening will realize or agree that it is the leverage used in investing in real estate that gives us the greatest rate of return. So chances are you have had your own experiences and dealings with lenders to provide funding for your investments. Pain points, as I mentioned, that you might have experienced might include a lender that you like but maybe isn't licensed nationwide. Perhaps they just don't really have the necessary information or knowledge base related to guidelines for real estate investors. But whatever the case may be, Ridge Lending has a very unique niche, let's say, that solves all of those problems and probably more. I would offer to you that maybe the top 4 or 5 benefits of working with Ridge Lending as your lender for your real estate transactions would be that we are a nationwide lender. We have over 60 years of combined experience, in-depth knowledge about non-owner occupied lending and the underwriting guidelines that attach to those from several different product lines. So not a one-size-fits-all for sure. We are very investor friendly in that if you don't fit into this particular underwriting or guideline box, we have a very diverse menu of product lines available for our investors. And I think that maybe one of the primary factors that sets us apart, and maybe many of you watching this already know, is that I personally am a real estate investor. I have held lots and lots of properties over my 20-plus career as a lender and real estate investor. So I think that adds a little bit of credibility to what we're able to do for our clients. I want to take a quick second too in this video and kind of set an appropriate expectation. Ridge Lending does things a little bit differently on the front end of an introduction for a prospect or a potential client of ours. Our pre-qualification, affectionately coined the gauntlet of pre-qual. If any of you have heard me speak over the years on podcasts, you'll have heard probably my token mortgage joke that includes the gathering of vials of blood and DNA samples. Now, I do that as an icebreaker, but it kind of feels that way for many people when they're asked to collect so much of their documentation up front. We notice that there is a little pushback depending on the circumstances, but it is a necessary evil, I promise you. And if you will indulge us in that, it will be well worth the effort. 2 primary reasons, important to mention that we do it this way. 1, the transactions themselves, post the pre-qualification, become a foregone conclusion. There is no extra brain damage in the middle or the end of the transaction. And then secondly, and probably more important to you, is that once we have the baseline, or what I call the bones of your file, you do not have to go back through the gauntlet of pre-qual over and over again. You will be made to update or refresh expired or outdated documents, things like pay stubs or bank statements. Credit reports are valid for 120 days before those need to be renewed or repulled. But overall, just keep in mind that that gauntlet is a one-time sort of exhaustive process. Who we are for and who we are not. So Ridge Lending is not going to be a good fit for the individual that is purchasing, let's say, commercial properties under $400,000, or maybe they're purchasing residential properties under $80,000. Those kind of benchmarks are probably not going to be a good fit for us. Otherwise, if it is residential, which is single family up to 4 unit, or commercial, identified as 5 units and above, but can also apply to residential properties as a cross-collateralization into one blanket commercial loan. That can go both ways, actually. But if you're outside that box, then probably not going to be a good fit. We're not going to be funding things like storage units, and mobile home parks is another common one that I hear is not in our wheelhouse. But otherwise, if it's residential, single family to 4 unit, and then true commercial for living purposes, we would probably be a very good fit for you. Call to action, get started. If you'll click on the link, right, the pinned comment or description, that will take you to a landing page that will get us started on the pre-qualification, if that is your next step. Otherwise, please feel free to reach out to us via email, info@ridgelendinggroup.com. You can certainly find us on our website at www.ridgelendinggroup.com. Or toll free. Feel free to give us a call. 855-747-4343. 855-74-RIDGE is an easy way to remember. In any of those cases, I look forward to speaking with each and every one of you. Thanks for listening.